Dear students, welcome to this session. In the previous session, we looked into the logic for the electricity bill generation and how the code is structured and what are the different instructions, how we end up in generating a electricity bill. In this session, we will look into the execution part. So for the execution part, I am going to use the JDoodle online C compiler, which I am using earlier, and I am going to just execute the program, and then we will go through the explanation of the flowchart and with respect to the program, so how the flowchart and how the C programs are correlated, so that we will understand. First we will do the execution of this program. For that I will just copy this program. Okay, this is the program. So don't please do not do any copy paste here. Just for saving some time, I am doing the copy paste. You should try to type every line of code and you should try to execute. So I copied the program, hash include. So this is, as you know, this is a jdoodle.com C online compiler. So if you have any queries about this, you can go back to the session where I covered in the environment how to use this. This is a very simple compiler, online compiler. So as I told you before, it requires a internet. If you have other options, you can work it out on those options. So here this will not format properly, so just I will format this quickly. So I'm just using the proper indentation so that the program becomes very easily understandable. So this is indentation. So you can see here this open brace closes open curly brace and closing curly brace, they are on the exact same line. So it is very easy to identify which is the opening curly brace and which is the ending curly brace. And this is else statement. For else, opening curly brace, and inside the code will have one more indentation. Then this is closing, this is else, this is the curly brace for the else. Okay, and also I will, after this I will add one line and okay, so this is the last part. Okay, so we have our complete program here. So if you see here, the complete program is here. Okay, then what I will do, in this particular online compiler there is no separate step of compilation and execution. So whenever you say execute, it will do the both the things. So standard inputs, so what are the inputs I should give here? One is the name of the customer, we will give same as the whatever we have given in the our earlier demo program, and I will give this this is name of the customer, number of units is 180, and I will say execute. When I say execute, so this result section is here. Okay, So in this online compiler it will take the input from here. Okay, if you are doing using any other compiler, it might prompt you there only, and you can enter the name. So this is just a different way of giving inputs. So after that the output is shown here: electricity bill Peter, units use 180, and total bill amount 244. And we have seen this warning. I told you, if you give don't give the return type as int for the main, it will give a warning. This is just a warning, this is not an error. If you want to remove that, just say int in front of the main. So return type int, and you can re-execute the program. Okay, so that warning is removed. So this is how you get the output, which is same as which the earlier I had shown. Okay, so this output is on different compiler. Okay, so I did it using a dev C++ on my laptop. This is how you get the output. So 180, 244, and we can try this 250, and we should get 305. So I will get this as 250 units, and I will execute again. So I got 305. We will try other values as well. Here we have given the input as 450 units, 575 is the bill amount. So what was the 450? So I will give 450, and I will say execute. I will get 575 rupees. And the next one is, here we have given the input as 0 units. So I will just give the input as 0 units, and I will say execute, and we get the bill amount as 100 amount. So this is how we can do the compilation of the program. And if there are any errors, any kind of a error, that will be given when you say execute. That itself will show the errors. For example, I will just introduce one error. I have bill amount 1. So bill amount 1 variable is not at all used here. So this is a totally a new variable, and we have bill amount which is used, but it is not declared. So now you can see the error. I will say, it will say bill amount error. Okay, line number 15, error bill amount undeclared. It is saying the bill amount is not declared. We are using a bill amount which is not declared, where it is line number 15. So if you go to the line number 15, so this bill amount is undeclared. There is this particular variable is not here. Okay, the two ways is to do is either change this to bill amount 1 and recompile, but the error, this error will go off. You will get the error at line number 19 saying again bill amount is undeclared. So how to fix this error? You change this back to bill amount and execute the program again. Okay, now it will execute. So this is the execution part, and I told you, as I told you before, this particular program it is done on the online C compiler. This is not saved. Okay, it is not saved. If you want to save it, just copy this part and save it in as a notepad or a word pad, or whichever text format you want to store. You can store it in your computer with the .c extension. So if you are due to some reasons, if you are not able to continue and you are still getting error, just copy and save it on your drive somewhere. And even if there is some internet connection problem or any other problem, by any reason, if you have to load this back, you can load it back from the your backup. So what happens, just I will reload this. So you are not able to see that reload button, but I am pressing reload on the Chrome. Just you can see what happens. It will revert back to this original default program. Okay, so in order to avoid that, if you have a copy, you can save it back and work on the program again whenever you get time. Now we will see the flow chart. Okay, so this is the flow chart, and I will put both the programs as well as the flow chart on the same window side by side. Okay, this is the program, and I will just tile it vertically. Okay, so I tiled it vertically. Okay, now I will increase this little bit. Some more, I will increase it to, let's say, 90. So some part of the program you may not see, but I would like to have this as 90%, so that you will get a better visual comparison. And the right hand side I have the flow chart, lab program number 5 electricity bill flow chart. So this is the problem statement, this is the declaration part. So just we'll move on to the start. So main open curly brace, this is the start of the program, and after starting the program, in the declaration itself we have initialization. So initialization is what we are assigning the variables with some constant value. So slab 1, slab 2, slab 3 are minimum charge, surcharge, all those are initialized with some value. So you can say here in the rectangular block, initialize slab 1 r is equal to 0.8, slab 2 r is equal to 0.9, slab 3 r is equal to 1, minimum charge is equal to 100, surcharge is equal to 0.15. and after doing that you are going to read the customer name and a number of units consumed. So this is the input operation. We have parallelogram, input operation, read customer name and a number of units. So this statements corresponds to this block. And after reading the customer name and number of units, what we are going to do, we are going to check the if statement. If units is greater than equal to 0 and units less than is equal to 200. So if we have a if statement, if units is greater than equal to 0 and units less than equal to 200. So we know there are two possible answers for this. Either this condition is true or false. When it is true, let's say the number of units is 150, then it is true. Then what we are doing, we are calculating the bill amount. We are calculating the bill amount, and the bill amount is equal to units into slab 1 rate. Okay, so bill amount is equal to units, whatever the units, into slab 1 rate. One thing here it is missing. Once this statement is complete, so here it will come and join this bill amount is equal to bill amount plus minimum charge. So you have to draw a line from here, okay, and it should join here. Okay, that part is missing, just add that, because we cannot have anything hanging like this. So after this statement, take a line and join it to this part. After this statement gets executed, where the execution will continue, it will continue with a statement where bill amount is equal to bill amount plus minimum charge. So suppose if this statement is true, it will execute this part, then it will not go in this part, it will not go in this part, directly it will come to this part. So after executing this statement, it will come here. So what you have to do is bill amount is equal to units into slab 1 rate, take one line and join to this part, okay, where the next statement becomes bill amount. And if this condition is false, so if this condition is false, we go to the else if. If this condition is false, we come to the else if, we check another condition. If units is greater than 200, if units is greater than 200 and units less than equal to 300, so that is the statement. If it is a true, if this statement is true, we are going to calculate this. Okay, so what we are going to calculate, bill amount is equal to 200 into number of units plus units minus 200 into slab 2 rate. Okay, once this completes this calculation, it will not go here, it will come to the end of the if statement. It will execute bill amount is equal to bill amount plus minimum charge. Again, similar to this, you take a line from here, okay, and join it just before the bill amount. Okay, so from here you can join it just before bill amount. So execution will continue from here. Now if let's say this condition is false, means this condition is false, then what happens is, if it is false, then we commit to the else block. So in the else block we have this calculation. What is that calculation? Bill amount is equal to 200 into slab 1 rate plus 100 into slab 2 rate plus units minus 300 into slab 3 rate. So that calculation we are going to do, and once this completes this calculation statement, it will come to this statement. So what is the next statement? Bill amount is equal to bill amount plus minimum charge. So where we will come, this statement is same as this statement. Now this is the end of the page, so I will use a connector, a circle with the label A and on the next page I begin with a circle. So this makes a connection, a circle with a label A, and after bill amount is equal to bill amount plus minimum charge, what is the next statement? Another if condition is there. So what is the if condition? If bill amount is greater than 400. If bill amount is greater than 400, again it has a true and false. If it is true, there is a surcharge. Bill amount is equal to bill amount plus surcharge into bill amount. Okay, then it will, once this statement is complete, it will come here and it will execute with the next statement. Let's say this statement is false, then it will not execute this statement, it will directly come to this. Okay, that is the next instruction, that is this. So if this statement is false, then it will not execute this part, it will come here. Then what is the next statement? Display electricity bill with customer name, units and bill amount. So all this part is the output operation. So where we are going to display the customer name, units and bill amount. So that is the parallelogram that is used for the representing the output. So this is the output. We will output the electricity bill with customer name, units and bill amount. After that we are going to stop. So after this statement we are going to stop, and all these the new lines and dashes, all these are additional formats, so that need not be represented on the flowchart.